To begin identifying alternate states of consciousness, it's important to start noting, like actually writing down, so you can come back to it later and objectively look at it. Noting personality discrepancies. Basically identify those by identifying one thing externally and one thing internally. So I can later use it as a comparison for other experiences in other parts of consciousness. So, for example, when I'm eating something, just eating food. What it is that I'm tasting, the kind of food it is, would be the external piece, information piece, right? This is the kind of food I'm having. And then the internal piece would be the experience. I like the food. It's yummy. It's spicy. It's hot. It's cold. I hate it. It's okay. And so to begin identifying parts of consciousness, you write down all these different things that you experience. Write down personality discrepancies. And you don't know they're discrepancies until you come back to them later. So you just kind of write down everything. And so mindfulness is how you do this. You're mindful of what you're experiencing, and you eat something. You're like, oh, I like this more than last time. Or, oh, I like this less than last time. Or, oh, this actually tastes a little different than last time. Or, oh, I notice a different texture sensation than I noticed the last times I ate this. And then once you are mindful of those and you begin noticing them within your experience through mindfulness, and you can cultivate mindfulness through meditation type practices. I have lots of ideas for that. If you ever need help getting started on that, I have lots of it. I've spent years investing in that journey, healing journey, learning about it. So through mindfulness, you begin identifying them. And once you start noticing them, write them down. And then over time, you'll have all these different notes to come back to and say, okay, clearly, these were different experiences. When I ate this food, I loved it this time and hated it this time, or it was sweet this time and it was spicy this time, or, I could eat 2 bites of it versus I could eat 2 plates of it, or whatever it is about the experience. And so you write down an external piece of information about what it is, and then an internal piece of information about how you're experiencing it. And through this process of mindfulness and note-taking, you will begin to see patterns and start identifying parts and understand that when a certain experience starts coming, it might mean that a different part is present. And then you can just start being more mindful of that. That is specifically what I have been working on for the last 14 months, I would say. Last 14 months. So all the progress I've made has been a constant, and I mean constant. I have half a dozen notebooks totally full, and a lot of them have alter observations or personality discrepancies as the title of heading of the page. And then, going back through them every few weeks or so just to see what I've learned, and then spending time in stuff like self-hypnosis. That was something I added about 6 months in to making these notes. I added the self-hypnosis piece and began to be able to make internal observations as well as external observations. And that revealed even more. But I couldn't get there until I was making note of those external observations. And I'm still making note of that. There's still stuff coming up. I'm still in that process. I'm still identifying my parts of consciousness. I don't know them all yet. And even the ones I know, I'm still getting to know them. I'm still building a relationship. Just if I were to just randomly say something about them, I would feel distant from them. And so it's a process of learning to identify them, learning to get to know them, learning to be familiar with them and stuff. And so it's all pieces of me, but because they're so fractured off because of trauma, it really feels like someone else. And that's why it was called multiple personality disorder before it was understood that it's all caused by dissociation. There's not actually different people. I put that in quotes because, we might refer to them as their own persons, but as a people person, someone totally separate, I have no control of, no communication with, no ability to get inside their brain if I tried. It's not like that. It's like they're pieces of my own brain that are so fractured, it feels like someone else's brain. And getting to know that is a very, very, very slow process. And so personality discrepancies, making a note, mindfulness, it's all part of the journey. I'm hoping to create more content to help with this sort of internal exploration. And so if you guys have any questions, please leave them below. I'm not going to answer them right away, but it's going to be the inspiration for the content I create in the next few months. And so it will definitely get answered. So I'm super excited about this, but there's just so much to do. I kind of have a struggle knowing where to start. And so your feedback has always been what is like, oh, okay, that's where I need to go. Like, this is where to focus right now. So please let me know what your guys' thoughts are on identifying parts of consciousness within structural dissociation.